Are you smarter than the billionaire? Okay, I'm going to be starting a new show. Remember that show? Are you smarter than a fifth grader? No, this one is going to be Are you smarter than a billionaire? Let's get into it. All right, our new story for today. We're going to be pulling this up, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who don't know me, my name is David. I live in Canada. And but everything we try to teach you is how to become wealthy and how to stop working. If you live anywhere in the world, these things will help you. So if we look at this story, Blackstone is preparing a $50 billion vehicle to buy real estate during the downturn. 50 billion, $50 billion to scoop up real estate. Are you insane? This is crazy, right? So if we go down to the article, let's see if we can get to it. It says here that real estate is arguably the most valuable and accessible segment of the real estate market class. Its popularity has driven disproportionate amounts of capital into residential real estate, particularly from institutional funds that are pushing up valuations and pushing yields lower. Woo, that's a mouthful, right? This is a mouthful for us to dissect sometimes. I feel it is. Anyway, and I'm in the business. So, guys, in Texas, one of the best places to invest since 2020, one third, 33% of all the properties that were purchased were bought by institutional buyers. What happened in 2007, 8, 9? Everyone has this recency bias thinking that that was a recession. Recession would be the same thing here. It's completely different this time. Back in 2007, 8, 9, there was an abundance of houses. There was more houses than there were people. So when that crash happened, it's very different. That's what's happening in China right now. Millions of properties empty and no people to live in them. That's a different problem. In the US right now, in Canada right now, we are short houses. Canada is short millions of homes. Millions, let's quantify it. You know, around like 2 million homes we need today in Canada. In the US, they're short like 8, 9, 10 million homes that they're short. So this is completely different than what happened last time. That's what we have to remember, number one. But number two, did you notice when they said that this is an opportunity fund and they're going to be buying it during the downturn? Have they started buying it? Not yet, but they will. Now, let's continue with that story because I think it's so important that we read into it that its popularity has driven a disproportionate amount of money into residential real estate. Why is that? Remember, when you are buying commercial real estate, you generally have to put 40% down. 40% down. People don't usually have that, and companies are in trouble right now. So why would a company like this go and try and put 50 billion into that kind of troubled asset and have to wait a few years when they know that you cannot build millions of homes overnight? And the demand for residential real estate will be strong right now. And the percentage that you have to put down on homes is less in residential than if you get into commercial. Okay, that's problem number one. Now, when it's talking about yields going lower, what does that mean? It means that the percent that they make per year will be going down. So imagine before they may have made a 5% per year. Now they're going to be going down to 3% per year. And that's what they could call a cap rate. If we move down, it says Blackstone is close to finalizing what could be the biggest traditional private equity real estate investment fund in history. In history. Are we even grasping what that means? 24, it says in a regulation filing last month, Blackstone said it has secured 24.1 billion of commitments for its latest real estate fund called Blackstone Real Estate Partners X. Blackstone is one of the largest companies in the world. Everything you buy touches this company in one way or another. So it's combined with Blackstone's real estate funds in Asia and Europe. They'll have over 50 billion available for opportunistic investments. Can you believe that? 50 billion? This is kind of shocking to me, you guys. So if you have all of this money, if these guys are looking back, number one, and are saying that real estate is going to be one of our top performers, and they are one of the largest companies on earth. If they are saying it's going to be one of the best, 90% of all millionaires make their money with real estate. They think it's the best. Yet for some reason, when you tell people that you got to buy real estate, they buckle and they are so resistant to the idea. And I had an epiphany about that one day, because everything that is ever done in our life was scary at one point. When we looked at our bike for the first time and we wanted to get on our bike, it was scary to do that. And then it was fun afterward. The first time for everything is scary. So I want you just to be really think about this. If everybody is doing it and everyone's making money about it, why not me? It could be me as well. If the world's biggest company is loading up billions of dollars to buy at great deals, you should be in on it too. I should be in on that too. And the time is coming where you should be able to buy properties at really good deals, amazing deals, pennies on the dollar. What I mean by that, like 50% off. You should be able to buy properties like that. Why not? And so when is the time that that's going to be? Well, I don't know. We have to see how things play out. But we always have to have an opportunity fund ready to buy those deals when those times come up. And you don't have to get into the big ones. You can just even get into smaller ones, even REITs, for example, REIT. You can get into those. They're like stocks, and you can buy them for as little as like $20. Just get into the real estate, because that's where you can make some serious money. I want the best for you. And so this is one of the ways to do it. And if BlackRock can do it, so can you. Now, that brings up another couple of questions. I was talking to a client of mine who was telling me about some property in Toronto. And Blackstone is opening, is it Blackstone or BlackRock? I don't remember, is opening a Toronto office now. And now he wants to sell his company to them. So once that property goes into a fund like this and you can buy stocks in it, you will never see that property come back on the market again. They will build that portfolio and they will sell it one day, if ever, to another fund. It'll never go to private equity ever again. But we have somebody who was on our TikTok or YouTube, and he was out in Seattle, and they are moving in and buying individual homes. Notice they're not buying multi-residential all the time. Individual homes, big bang for your buck, and splitting it into multi-units with electronic doors on it. And the moment that you stop paying, the doors just lock and the code changes remotely because you haven't paid your rent, and then everything is theirs. And they can raise the rent as much as they want. And these are called micro units. Some of them are as small as like 250 square feet. Very, very tiny. So this goes on, like, what kind of company should they be allowed to? I guess, I mean, that's capitalism, right? But everyone should have the option to be able to get into this. And I think the reason why people are so resistant is because real estate can be confusing. And that's what I'm here to debunk. Because there's obviously commercial real estate and buying a business, and then there's individual houses, multi-residential. What are the numbers? How much do you put aside for maintenance? How much do you put aside for property management? How do you find property management? And it's so scary to people that they completely resist it. But if you resist it, you're going to be left behind. So I want you to conquer that fear, because you can do this. Okay. I'm here for you. So that's the number one thing. You are not smarter than a billionaire. You're definitely not smarter than $1 trillion company who's putting money into real estate. So I want you really to think about that. Now we get into the second thing that is kind of going on. And I think that you should consider seriously buying gold and silver. Now, do I have that here? I always have my gold and silver coin laying around. I can't find it right now. Oh, right here. You always need to have some gold and silver. Now, silver is a little bit cheaper. You can buy one in the States, I don't know, $25. Okay. Canada might be 35 or something dollars for you to buy 1 ounce. But let's jump into this next story, you guys, because over here, it's which nations have been buying gold. Now, when you get into this, are you smarter than a billionaire? Are you smarter than $1 trillion company? Are you smarter than all of these countries? So if you see here, it says the US, Germany, Italy, France, Russia, China, Switzerland, Japan, India, and the Netherlands hold the highest gold reserves in tons. They don't measure it by ounces. They measure it by tons. That's crazy, right? So it has been the same with those countries for like decades. Okay. But they want to know who are the biggest movers and shakers that are going on right now. Okay. So number one is Russia. Russia has been the top buyer of gold for the last 10 years. Pushing it, like they almost tripled the amount of gold that they had, from 800 tons to 2,300 tons. absolutely crazy. Now, is that accurate numbers? We're not really sure. They could be buying a lot more of it and you don't even know. But why do you think they were stacking for 10 years? Because they have been planning what's been happening recently in Ukraine. So they're planning in advance to pull away from the world's dollar system. Turkey, not very big surprise there. Turkey's economy is in absolute tatters, falling apart, and their dollar or their lira, I think it is collapsing at epic rates. Some of the greatest inflation that we're seeing on planet Earth. So we're not really surprised that Turkey is buying it to try to hold up their money. India, number 3, not a big surprise there. India is one of the biggest gold-loving countries on Earth. I think they own more gold in that country than any other country combined, but they love their gold. Poland, for me, was a real surprise, comes in at number 4. Poland thought it would be a good strategic decision to buy a lot of gold, which I thought was very interesting. I would never have guessed them as being on that list. And number 5, no surprise at all, China. China holds the 6th largest gold reserve on Earth, 1,900 tons, 3.3% of its official reserves. So it has a lot of gold, $3.42 trillion in gold. And China, again, do we know if those numbers are accurate? Well, I'm not really sure if they're accurate, but we know that they're buying a lot of gold, but that's also kind of how Russia has been behaving, that they've been stocking gold for a decade in preparation for pulling away from that world system that you're seeing right now. So my question to you, I repeat it, are you smarter than all of these countries? Are you smarter than $1 trillion company? Are you smarter than what Warren Buffett is buying those types of shares? Are you smarter than a billionaire, a trillionaire, and countries altogether? My answer is, I hope so, but probably not. I know I definitely am not. So what do you have to be doing? You need to be buying some gold and silver. This is a British sovereign. You need to be buying some gold and silver in your life. Now, never keep it at home. You always keep it in a safety deposit box or in a vault somewhere. Always make sure it's off-site. Secondly, you should be buying gold and silver. You should be buying real estate. Now, you don't have to buy real estate today. That's not what I'm saying, but at least have an opportunity fund going forward. If you are buying in cash, this is a terrible time to buy in cash. You need to be buying on payments because you can write that off. So do not overstretch yourself now. There's farther to go down, but the deals will be had. I think it'll probably be next year, but we don't know what's going to be coming. A lot of things are going to be happening in the 3rd and 4th quarter, right? We already have an interest rate coming up in September. All the food reports are coming in September, October. There's going to be pretty near certainty that Q4 is going to be a rough quarter for sales, and they're not going to be high because inflation is going to be there. That'll be reported in February. So, man, we are in for some fireworks, you guys. I'm ready. I've been preparing for 10 years. Have you been preparing? Anyway, my name is Dave, man. I'm here for your health, wealth, and happiness, as you know, always. If you know even a couple people that this would help, we're really trying to help people out, honestly. If you know anybody this could help, please send it out. 1 person, 2 people, whatever you can. Please remember to like and subscribe if I give you any value whatsoever, and I'm going to see you on the next video.